Hey, I think I'm live now. Okay, now I've got to figure out how to create a link so that people can see it. Oh, preview link. No, I don't want to view the post. That'll work though. Copy. In just a second. Paste. Sent. Alright. Well, guys, I'm having trouble with my normal YouTube upload, or shall I say, live. So what we're doing is I'm going to do a live here and do the video, and then I'll upload it to the playlist, Bushcraft A to Z. I'm doing a Bushcraft A to Z series, and the series has a contest. So this is on my homepage. If you know me but you don't know me through the Bushcraft or Wilderness Survival or Woodland Warrior Protector Program, then welcome to a new version of me. Otherwise, come along for the ride. See what you see. Today we've done A, B, C, and D of the Bushcraft A to Z series. We're on E now. Now there's a contest. The people with the most, and this is on YouTube, so it's all in the comments, not in chat. So conveniently enough, it won't apply in any chat across platforms, but I can still upload and you'll see the comment and be able to comment there. But anyway, the person with the most correct guesses of the next video will get a prize of a wood carving kit. From Beavercraft will be the wood carving kit. You will have a carving knife, a spoon carving knife, so it's curved, so you can get in those, create the bowl shape. A strop and some compound and a little case, a little leather case to carry it in. So it's a pretty cool case. But anyway, that's part of the contest. Contest is open from the end of the live, one live. So it was open for D. For E. It was open for the end of the D live, all the way up into an hour prior to the starting of E. Same thing happens here. As soon as we're done here, you can, as soon as you see the YouTube, like if you want to go to the playlist, Bushcraft A to Z on my YouTube, I suppose I should put that in there, huh? We'll see if I can put a link to my channel, if you so desire. This isn't I'm not trying to get subscribers or any of that cool stuff. I am just woodchucking this out. Alright, copy, come over here. I don't want to question, I want to comment. There we are. There's a lot more stuff here on YouTube, on Facebook versus YouTube. Yep, there it is. Woodchucking this out. So if you want to be a part of this contest, then go there and make your guesses as they come about. I'm thinking my tea is about ready. Give me just a second, guys. I always like to do something, have something I'm doing while others are preparing to sign on and be a part of it. Ooh. Too much. Alright. Frames per second. How do I do that? Maybe that has... settings, stream. Aha. Distribution. I'm sorry guys, give me just a second. I am trying to or browser tabs. Okay. How about we go all out? We'll close that one. Bring this up. What do we have? William Mark, what's up, buddy? I don't know if you're on, but you at least liked the post. Much appreciated. Alright, I don't see them having problems with the video. Am I chopping around or anything? I've got one viewer. Okay, cool. Again, I don't. It doesn't matter if I have one viewer or no viewers, but I appreciate it. Let me be clear. I appreciate views. I'm just going back to the whole thing. I'm gonna download this, then upload it to my YouTube channel for the Bushcraft A to Z series that I'm doing, because apparently YouTube wants to have requirements that I don't yet know how to do them. So anyway, that'll be fixed soon enough. Get my tea out. A nice, cool little setup here. I've got a water heater, so looks just like this. It's black. It's tethered to the wall though, but it's corded. I got this stuff for Christmas, so this is a water heater. It just, all it does is heat up water, right? The thing goes down to about right here, and then this part right here heats it up. Then I transfer it to my Bamboo Buddy over here, and it is it has the tea bag in it with a little strainer at top, so I can just pour straight out. It's really cool. And then I put it in my handy dandy little ceramic cup to do the actual drinking from. Anyway, I just think it's cool. Alright, back to business. Bushcraft A to Z. This one is E. We're on E, and we're on a good little path, so let's go ahead and have some fun. E is for edible plants. So again, I'm not trying to be special and make you guys guess hard things. E, edible plants for Bushcraft A to Z. I'm going to give you 3 of them. 3 that are prolific, like they are throughout the South. 1 is throughout the all 3 are all throughout the South. You'll see them anywhere. 1 is you'll see them the loblolly pine across the U.S., even all up into Canada. I think there's some European versions and stuff, but anyway, there's one that's specifically for desert regions or sandy regions. I came from below the fall line in Georgia, so above the fall line there's the Piedmont, and it's a lot of clay and a lot of good soil for farming and such. Below the Piedmont, which is a line going from Columbus, Georgia, through Warner Robins, I think Macon, but I may be mistaken, all the way up to Savannah. And below that line, it's all sandy soils. I came from below that line. So I've got one that's one of my favorites. We're going to be drawing from my book, a little booklet thing, Old Ways Training, Basic Foraging for Middle Georgia. It's just one of the side things that I've got going on with the Old Ways Training program. On the back, I always like to read this part. We often forget that we are nature. Nature is not separate from us. When we say we have lost our connection to nature, we've really just lost our connection to ourselves. Okay, so that's important. All right, so I'm gonna bring from that, and our first one will be. Did I not put that? Ooh, I bet I did. I bet I did, but I forgot to change it. It's all good. All right. 1, 2, 3. I've got some examples in the picture off to the side. Let me bring myself back up. But there's a couple of pictures. There's the plant with the root, dandelion. Okay. There's the leaf part right there. Everyone knows dandelion, right? Seed head, flower head. Everybody knows dandelion. Check this out though. I'm going to go to the preparation for just a second, but we'll describe it because one of the cool and interesting things about the plant world is that you have to be accurate. If you think you have a goldenrod, but instead have shoot, what's the other one? See, you got to know this stuff. Literally the next one. Yay. But if you have ragweed, which looks a lot like that goldenrod, you're not going to get the same stuff out of it. So dandelion has one or two lookalikes. The big thing that you can know the difference between it is one stem, a single stem, from a flower, or I'm sorry, a leafy rosette. So a singular base at which all the leaves come out of, and then the stem and the flower head. Other plants won't have one stem. They'll just have multiple stems, and the stem will be woody in nature. So if you get a dandelion and you get the stem and you squeeze it and snap it off, this white sap comes out of it, and it's hollow. The stem itself is hollow. Be careful about the white sap. It is latex based, so if you have a latex allergy, do not touch the white sap. But as far as I understand it, that's the only thing you got to worry about, even with a latex allergy. That being said, let's see, the lion's tooth is another name for it. So because of dente, lion, tooth of the lion, dent, like dentine, and that's what dent means, is tooth. Lion's tooth. Commonly seen as a weed, it is actually a perennial herb. And something a lot of people don't realize is that dandelion comes from Europe. The dandelion plant did not originate in America. It's still so hot. So take a moment to consider the value of that information. We brought it over as colonists. We brought over the dandelion plant because of its usefulness and versatility. It's edible. I think some of it's medicinal, but for the biggest part is the leaves are edible. You can literally pick and eat the leaves. They're good. They're a more earthy. They have a more earthy flavor compared to lettuce or romaine or iceberg lettuce. They have dandelion leaves have a more earthy, more grounded flavor to them. And of course, this is always after washing. You don't want to eat dirt-laden dandelion leaves. But also, you want to pay close attention to where you're taking them from. If it's the side of a road, if it's the side of the road and that road is maintained by the state or by the county, then it's very possible it's been sprayed. People think it's a weed. So be careful on that. Don't ingest chemicals. Where are we at? Ha! Amethyst Firewolf. What's up, buddy? Long time no see. Kind of, sort of. Alright. So, amethyst, you know me from the Buddhist learnings and the martial arts world. The Woodland Warrior Protector Program includes both woodland knowledge or woodsmanship side by side with our other stuff that we learned. So I'm showing people sword work, and there's no modern day application. It helps you with your training unarmed. Okay, so it's still a good idea to do sword work because it helps you with your body management skills. That's not going to change because everything's integrated. Especially the arts that we learn is very much they were originally a weapons-based art. They took weapons away because they realized they needed to learn those things, and so they kept the same idea, which is why Bobi no Kamae has the hand by the belt, because the bow staff or the yari, the spear, is supposed to actually be held by both hands, and that's the posture. So as an example, but there's really no place in life where you go walking out with a katana sword, just walking out there. I mean, there's no place in society unless you're in Japan, and even then it's bagged. Unless you're in Japan, you don't do this. You don't do it in Europe, you don't do it in Mongolia, you don't do it in South America or South Africa, you don't do that in these places. Well, if you're going camping, oftentimes people will bring a machete. So the machete you choose is important. I can still take this into a wooded environment and chop down some brush using the skills I know. So I think that's cool as crap. Sorry everyone else for the sidebar, but it's an important thing. So dandelions. Dandelions, not native to America. They they came from Europe, and because of their nutritional value, and they're just some of those things that people call it a weed because it grows so well in our soil. Other people would probably call it an invasive species just because it didn't start its life in this environment, in ecosystem. And I say if we find a use for it, let's cultivate it and make it a thing that works. So you can eat the leaves, and you can actually eat the flower head. I know a lot of people down here, you'll go to some of the farmers markets and such, and you'll get battered and fried dandelion heads. And so that's pretty interesting. Alright, I'm going to give you three. This is dandelion is the first one. The second one I'm going to say is the loblolly pine, but I don't think I think when I ordered this book to be made, yep, I sure enough didn't change it. So I've got a table of contents, and I traded out lily pad with loblolly pine with lily pad because, of course, pine tree, so easy and prevalent everywhere. But I didn't change it in the table of contents. I got to get a new set made. Anyway, so my book, Always Training, Basic Foraging. Yes, Basic Foraging from Middle Georgia. Here we go, the loblolly pine tree. Now, it's a pine tree. Like, lots of people understand what that looks like and what pine trees are. And the stuff that I'll tell you here are going to be very universal throughout many of the different pine trees. Not all of them, but if it looks like a loblolly pine, you could probably get the same kind of a thing. A lot of people haven't, and with this, I personally believe that it's going to be really difficult to find an actual to find techniques, especially within the Bujinkan. I find it exceedingly difficult to find stuff that doesn't actually apply to the real world. Because everything that we do does. It really does. And in some way or another, you just have to work your mind into that direction, and you'll see it. But even us guys with our the Ninpo thinking and Budo thinking and things like that. A lot of people just don't think, they think it's all old stuff, and what we're doing is preserving the old stuff. Well, that's just the first level. That's Shu. That's Shu of the Shuha Rei framework, preserving the old. So anyway, next one, loblolly pine. This one has a whole bunch of stuff. We only had like the leaves and the flower head for dandelion. I forgot about this too. The roots of a dandelion. Going back to dandelion. The roots of a dandelion, washed, dried, and powdered, create a coffee substitute. Not a lot of caffeine in it in comparison, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Forgot about that. All right, so the sap, the leaves, the inner bark, the outer bark, and the lumber itself. Pine tree. That's one reason why we use it. It's because it grows fast. Like 2x4s are made from pine, and almost every other thing that you see, unless it's a specialty wood. David, what's up, man? Cousin. So I'm getting people that know me outside of the Bushcraft and Ninja world. Because of technical issues, I couldn't go live on my YouTube channel. Woodchuck in the South is the name of it, and I put it in, that's the first comment in the thing here, in case anybody was worried about it. But this is, I'm doing a Bushcraft A to Z series, and this one is E. I've done A, B, C, and D already. So this is E, and this is going to be edible plants. We've already gone over dandelion. We're now in loblolly pine. The sap can be made into a glue and is flammable while wet. So you can get the pine sap and add different binders to it. It's its own binder, but strengtheners, I guess, would be the name. Crushed eggshells, white ash from a campfire, and it'll harden up. The sap will harden up like a glue. Pine needles. The needles make a very refreshing tea. I don't know if a lot of people know this, that you can get a pine needle from your yard, a bundle of pine needles, and cut off the head part. There's a brown-gray sheathy thing that holds 3 or 5 needles. And so cut all those off, cut the tips off, inspect them to make sure they're not by some insect somewhere, and then chop them up into fine little lengths of needle, like really little small, and then put them in your tea. You can make a pine needle tea. Very good. A little bitter. It tastes, I'm not gonna lie, it tastes a little bit like pine sol, but there's things in pine sol that are chemicals that you don't want to ingest. This is an actual tea. So that's really cool. Let's see what else we got. The inner bark, you can chew it. So there's the outer bark that's like the brown and sometimes gray. That's actually very good for campfires, well, as beginning fuel. We'll break some off and use it as a thing to start campfires with. But the inner bark, which is a little leathery, you have to scrape off the front and then get the inner bark is yellowish, like cream colored. And if you dry it, it turns brown, and you can powder it and make a flour with it. So there's that. But if you're just walking down a trail and you feel the need for some nutrients, you can actually get your knife and scrape to get to the inner cambium layer. Don't go all the way around the tree. I don't expect anyone would, because if you're just getting it for a little bit of a thing, you just get a little spot. But don't go all the way around. If you go all the way around a tree and take the cambium layer from any tree all the way around it, the tree will die. So don't do it. But if you just get a little bit and get a little bit and put it in your mouth, start chewing it like gum, and you'll get nutrients from it, and your mouth will feel dry because of the astringent nature of that piece of the tree. But other than that, it's just fine. So, flower from a pine tree. How cool is that? All right, we got three items I want to touch. Oh, I've got a fourth one that I want to talk about. That's going to be an honorable mention, because I forgot I put that in this book. Anyway, going back to the book, Old Ways Training, Basic Foraging for Middle Georgia, we're going to work at the yucca plant. So this is the one that's very much desert-like. People will see this. This is not the, oh, I forget the other plant. It's not a palm leaf or oh, I forget what to call it. But up here, you see the very long leaves. You've got a stem, very long. Where am I at? There we are. Very long stem. It's a woody stem. Good Lord, can't orient. There we go. It's a woody stem. And very much like the dandelion, where you've got that rosette of leaves at the bottom, a single stem coming up the center, and then the flower head at the top. Now the flower head, let's get a closer look at this really big one. So the flower head, off of the main stem, smaller stems come, and then the flowers come onto that. So they're a cool little thing. What you want to be careful of is there's an insect, a flying insect that I don't know the name of it. From what I understand, it's not a wasp or anything that you would be, not want to be around. But you don't want to dig into the flower and go like get an insect in your face. So what I do is when I come up on it, I'll get a stick and tap the stem, and the insects will fly away because they're like, oh no! So they fly away. Find another plant to get onto, and then go there. But this one is one of the most useful plants, and I wish it was more common in more places. Do some housekeeping here for a second. Oh, okay. All right. So this yucca, the leaves, you can literally make rope from the leaves. In fact, if you do it right, I think you might actually be able to make a thick clothing, because you can make a really thin string from it. With the proper materials and processes and knowledge, you can get a field of yucca plants and make a shirt and pants, along with some rope for your travels. It's really, really, really good. Be careful approaching the plant because it's okay. Be careful approaching the plant because the leaves are spear-like and they come to this very needle-type point. And so when you're walking up there, your shins, the lower shins, your lower shins will get stuck. Like just take a big step on them or step around them if you're approaching the plant. But that's one of their little defensive mechanisms. The stem is good for hand drill fires. So the thing where you're coming down here like this. Do I not? No, it's in the garage. I have a couple of stems ready to go. But if you're making a friction fire and doing it this way, the stem is actually, you can use the stem for both the hand spindle and the hearth board. My first friction fire was done with yucca, which, by the way, you'll never forget. You ever get into this learning bushcraft and wilderness survival and things like this, one of the things you will never forget is your first fire. It's pretty exciting. The flower petals themselves are edible, like you know, I mean, I guess you can eat rose petals as well. You didn't know, a lot of people don't know that, but you can pluck and eat fresh off the plant. The root, the stem, sorry, go back to the stem. You can cut a piece of stem off and chew it just like the inner bark for the pine tree. But you don't want to swallow the stem because it's very woody, very spiny, very and just not like, our bodies aren't meant to deal with fiber that large. Chew it up. Use your saliva, chew it up, get the nutrients that way, spit it out. You can eat the flower petals, you can chew the stem, you can make rope out of the leaves, you can make baskets out of the leaves for that matter. And the root. Dig up the root, wash it off really good. It looks like gnarled ginger. Ginger is a root. It looks like gnarled ginger, but it's it's very gnarled. Anyway, dry it out, pound it up. Use a hammer or on a piece of metal or something like that. Pound it up, and then you can actually add a little bit of water to it, and it will suds. It'll create suds. You can wash your hands, your clothes, and wash your whole body with that. Shampoo, soap. So again, another plant, another member of the world of flora that has so many uses for us. And I truly do believe that whatever higher power you believe, or even if not, then I just think that we have a lot of things in the living world that we don't know all the purposes of yet, or if some people do, then it's not prevalent. It needs to be, and it makes for a better living of life. So I've got an honorable mention, but I'm going to go through what I have in the contents of this book. We talk about blackberry, cattail, dandelion, goldenrod, kudzu. Everyone hates kudzu, but there's some good stuff on there. Lolly pine, the plantain, the yucca, and sassafras. That's going to be our honorable mention. Sassafras tree is quite easy to recognize. It's a small tree. Rarely does it get above 20, 30 feet. Pine trees will go up to 15 plus. But the story of the sassafras tree is pretty interesting. There's 3 different kinds of leaves. There's what I call spear, one finger glove, and shooter's glove. So up at the top here, so you've got spear style, not glove, I'm sorry, mitten, and then sharpshooter's mitten. So a sharpshooter's mitten has a place for the thumb and a place for the first finger. So, good Lord. 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. On a single plant, on a single tree, you will have 3 different leaves. far as I know, that's the only plant that has that. So very easy to identify. It makes wood that's really easy to work with. Make walking staves and building materials and things. You can do this with either the root bark or the leaves. The root bark is more potent, but you can make a tea, just like the loblolly pine tree. I just like this one. That's why it's an honorable mention. It's a really good one. I use them for canes a lot. I used to make canes back when I was younger, because about 6 to 8 inches below the soil, the root goes straight down. It's a taproot. Goes straight down and then branches at a 90-degree angle. One smaller branch and one bigger branch. So you dig it up, turn it upside down, it becomes the handle for the cane. And this is every one of them, all of them. So you can actually test it if you've got a smaller sapling. You know, go close to the base and just push. Push in the other direction, push in this direction, push in this direction. You'll find where the root is, because you can't push in that direction. It's got a foot there. So anyway, those are the 3 plants plus one honorable mention. And I want to go ahead and end this video with the contest that we have going on. So we've got a contest going on. It's on the YouTube channel. So once this video ends, I'll save it and then upload it to the YouTube channel, and it'll be in the playlist Bushcraft A to Z. But the contest is, at the end of the contest, whoever has the most correct guesses of the next letter's topic. So we're in E now. You know what E is. You don't know what F is. What the F? So from now until an hour before the next upload, you have the ability to comment and guess what the next one is. And if it's a correct guess, you'll get an honorable mention. You get a mention in that video. Hey, you guessed correctly. And I'm tallying up. I'll retally everything towards the end. But the winner gets a carving kit by Bushcraft. So Bushcraft is a European country, I think in Denmark, but I could be mistaken. The kit comes in a leather kit with a carving knife, a spoon knife. So the actual knife itself is bent. Imagine this crowbar. Not that sharp of a corner, like kind of more of a sweep up, but imagine it like that, and then one side is edged, so you can make spoons. So the kit has a straight knife, a curved knife, a strop, and some stropping compound, blade covers. Forgot to say that earlier. Blade covers, and it comes in this little leather kit. It's about this big. So that's what you win. I think that's about it. Alright guys, as I always try to say is get lost, but never lose your way. Till next time guys.